I'd like to welcome a very lovely family today, and I want to thank you for coming to share some of the wonderful things that happened to you. And we're going to have Christine, a lovely mother, with her beautiful daughter Christina. And there's a very special story connected to Christina. I had met her mother, Christina's mother, about 4 years ago.
Yes.
And I said, you know, I do feel there's a baby girl coming with big blue eyes. And you kind of laughed because you have a beautiful family of 4 sons.
Yes.
And I was a little adamant about that. And I said, you know, I really think there's a baby girl coming within a year. And now maybe you could explain.
Yes. She told me I was going to have a baby girl and that her eyes were going to be bright, bright blue. And of course, I was in denial because I have 4 boys, and there was no way I could think of even having a girl. And to my surprise, when she was born in September, it was a girl, and she had these beautiful blue eyes, exactly like Linnea had said she would. So
I'm so happy you could come today with Mom. Can you smile? Can you
Smile.
smile for the camera and show them how beautiful you are? I thought you could. You're just so pretty. And over the years, we've had some wonderful connections for you. And I think, too, one of the most recent ones has to do with the beautiful rosary beads that your beautiful little girl is holding.
yes.
And sadly, and I am so sorry for this, your lovely mother passed away about a year ago.
It would be a year in June, yes.
Okay. And I really feel, you know, that that is one of the most profound losses. And I happened to see Shauna, your beautiful sister. We went out to eat, and we were talking, and I said, gee, there's 2 things that your mother is trying to convey to me. And I said, one of them has to do with a new baby in April, and it was around Shauna. So maybe you could share what happened.
Yes, my sister's daughter, my niece, Melissa, had gave birth to a baby boy, 10 pounds, and it was in April, like
Okay.
Linnea had said so.
You have a new surprise.
Yes.
Okay. And then the other aport that your mother talked about, I wasn't quite sure who it was going to come to, but your mother said, show the rosary beads. My girls are going to get rosary beads. And now maybe you can explain about that.
Yes, one morning, my dad lives below us in the same home, and I live on the 2nd floor. One of my family relatives were coming to visit that morning, and as she was coming into my home, she noticed something on the ground from the corner of her eye, but she couldn't see it. She was taking care of one of her younger child. And when she came into the home, she said to my son, can you run back out front of your home? There's something I see on the ground, look like a cross or something silver, or I don't know what it was, but go down and check. He went downstairs, he didn't see nothing on the ground, and there was people at the bus stop, because we live right on a bus stop. And she had called me and says, I'm upstairs in your home. And as I was walking into my door, these were just sitting on the doorknob. So I took them off the doorknob, I walked upstairs, and I'm like, wow, somebody must have put rosaries on the doorknob.
Right.
And a few days later, I was talking to my sister Shauna,
Right.
who had met with you maybe 2 weeks prior.
Right.
I said, Shauna, it's so weird that somebody left rosaries on my door. And she said, you're not going to believe this. And she pulled the tape out, and you had told Shauna in the taping that my mom was going to send us rosaries.
Right.
And
you
these were
got
the
them.
rosaries,
Right.
and I actually got them. So I was very happy.
happy?
Oh my goodness, you have no idea. I was so
I know
happy.
how close all of you are.
Yes.
And I know how difficult it is to lose a beautiful mother. And the other beautiful thing is on the rosary beads, there's a miraculous medal.
A medal, yes.
And it has the Blessed Mother like this,
Yes.
with her hands like this, and on the back it's an M with a cross through it. And that's always a symbol for all of us of our Blessed Mother. And if you are a Christian person, it is known that when you do go to glory, the Blessed Mother is waiting at the gate of heaven for you. So I think your mother was trying to convey to you that, girls, guess what? This is where I am. And now maybe you could share that amazing situation with the little one.
About 3 months back, early in the morning, my daughter had woken up, and she come down from the bedroom down the stairs from the bedroom, and she had her hand clenched, saying that Nana had given her $20. So I'm like, Nana gave you $20? She's like, yeah. And when she opened her hand, it was a crunched up $20 bill.
Right.
So I'm like, you sure we didn't leave money somewhere in the room, or she might have taken it somewhere? And nobody had that money. There was no way that she woke up with the money in her hand.
Okay.
So I believe that what she's telling me, that Nana gave it to her, is the way she got it from.
Christina, did Nana from Spirit come and give you $20 one night when you were going to sleep?
Yeah,
You saw her?
yeah,
You could see Nana? And you still see Nana too?
yeah.
I'm going to say that Nana is your guardian angel around all the family. the grandchildren, the new baby, and you. And you did something very special for me, number one, coming today. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for
I'm
having
so excited about this, bearing witness and telling the world what's come true. But you called me one day, and I remember when you said who you were and where you lived, I became very, very excited.
Yes.
I had asked my mother to send me something. I needed to hear from her, and you called, and you said, "Hi, it's Christine from Eleanor Street." My mother's name was Eleanor.
Yes.
So I have to thank you for that.
You're
That was
welcome.
like a kiss from the other side.
You're welcome.
So has these experiences, do you think they've helped you and brought you comfort?
They have brought me comfort. It helped me also to believe, to know that there is another world, and that there is another side. And I do believe that they are in spirit, and they are with us, even though we can't see them.
They never leave us.
They never leave us.
They watch
So-
over us with light and love.
Yes.
Will you give my best to the new baby's family?
I will. I will.
And please tell them that I'm so thrilled that this beautiful gift has come at the time that your mom said, and I'm so thrilled that you got to have the rosary beads to
Me
show
too.
you your mother was sending you something too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Your
Linnea. I
family's beautiful.
appreciate everything
Love
you've
to
done.
see you, sweetheart.
Say
Thank you very
so
much. Thank you. I want to thank everyone for watching this wonderful, I would say, quilt. I'll call it a quilt of life, a tapestry, because for the past year I have to thank Saugus Community TV and their wonderful staff for helping me to put together some programs that enlighten, educate, and entertain everyone. And it's just so wonderful to have clients such as yourself come in to bear witness to some of the things that have come true, whether it's a prophecy, whether it's an apport, whether it's a connection that I couldn't have known of. And today I want to welcome a very lovely client of mine. I would say that we're friends. And we met, I'm going to say, probably several years ago.
Yes.
The two of us. And we were with your wonderful family. And the strange thing was we had a date earlier in the season, and we had a horrific rainstorm. And you and I said, you know what, the wires are down, let's postpone it. So I believe I came to your home on November 17th, which was a Saturday. Now maybe you could segue, and your name is Jen.
Yes.
You could segue into what came through on that day.
Well, as you know, we were supposed to meet the 2 weeks prior.
Right.
We set the date for November 17th,
Right.
and you had come out to my home. I was hoping to contact my wonderful grandmother that I was so close with.
Right.
I did contact her, and you had said that she was mentioning Ave Maria. She's singing it to me, and that was actually the song that we played at her funeral.
Okay.
She asked about her home. Where is my home? Who has my home? My childhood home actually burnt down to the ground from the owners after my mom owned it, so she was looking for her home. But in one part of the reading, you drew the death card, and my grandfather had been ill. He had been in the hospital.
Sorry for that.
Thank you. And when I asked you, why am I drawing this, you said your grandmother wants you to know that there is no such thing as death, that life goes on, it's eternal. Well, he passed away the next day.
So I'm going to say, and I think we kind of agreed on this then, and then again when we reconnected today, I'm going to say that I don't think I was supposed to see you that 2-week period before.
No, you weren't.
I think I was supposed to see you on that particular day, and I think your Nana was trying to let you know and the family know that she was watching over everyone and she was waiting.
Yes.
How old was your wonderful granddad?
99.
All right, so he had a beautiful life, and even so, still, that's very, very traumatic to lose anyone that we love wherever they are. But I think there was something that was even a little more remarkable. I brought an apport that somebody else had received. It was rosary beads.
Yes.
And I showed you the letter, and you can explain what the letter said.
As you were showing us all the testimonials and we were all passing the letters around, my aunt gasped and said, "Jenny, look at this." And just the look on her face was just shock. And I was reading through the letter and all the wonderful things that she was saying about you, this client, and then I looked down and I saw the name. And my chin dropped. It was Linda Pisano. Linda Pisano is my mom, but this was not my
Right.
mom. It was a different person.
So what had happened was I had seen a client maybe, I don't know, 6 to 8 months before meeting your wonderful family. And she had written me a beautiful testimonial, and I was going to have my graphic web gentleman transcribe it onto the web. She doesn't have a computer at that point. So I happened to bring it with me with the picture of the rosary beads that she found. And I shared it with you, not knowing that that's your mother's same name. Not your mother, but the exact same name. So that had to be
Yes.
a clear channel from your Nana.
That was, without a doubt, a sign that she was there that day and is always around me.
Now, the other thing that I thought that when it came true, it was kind of ironic. Your grandmother was showing me the shoe industry. So somebody worked in the shoe
Yes.
industry, I think.
Yes.
And then I saw you subsequent to your grandfather's passing. I think I saw you about a year later.
Yes.
And your grandfather was thanking everyone, for the love and the kindness that was extended to him, of course. And he kept showing me a check for $10,000, and we kind of giggled about that. And you were like, well, I don't know what he's talking about. And I said, well, it has to do with the union, and I do think you're going to get a sum of $10,000 by Christmas. And now maybe you can segue into that.
So my grandfather, before he passed away and before he went to the hospital, lived with my mom all his life. She took care of him towards the end of his days. And he truly didn't have a lot of money, but there was an insurance policy that she had no clue about. And when you had mentioned the $10,000, both my mom and I kind of went, I'm not sure. And just about a month after he passed away, she received 2 insurance checks. One was for $6,000 something, and the other one was for $3,000 something, totaling the $10,000 before Christmas.
So I'm going to say, when those things have come true,
Yes.
was your family comforted? Did they
Without
feel
a doubt.
better about it?
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt, we knew that that was from my
Him.
papa. Yes.
Because I could not
Yes.
know that. And then, sadly, you had an illness, which your mom emailed me, you emailed me, and it
Yes.
was a pretty significant illness, a beautiful sister. And I think what I did is I emailed back to the two of you. I think I might have spoken to your wonderful mom. And I asked you to petition St. Catherine Drexel.
Yes,
And the
you did.
outcome for your sister was?
She was hospitalized with ARVD. We weren't sure if she was going to make it. I looked to you for guidance, my mom and I, and you said in your email, your papa is with her, your grandfather is with her and watching over her, and he's telling me she's going to be okay. You mentioned a small Blessed Mother statue
Right.
that will be by her bedside. My mom, not even knowing that she had one in her jacket, found it and taped it to her hospital bed. You mentioned 312. 312, and you said, I'm not sure if this is a room she'll be in. I'm not sure what this signifies, but he's saying to me 312.
Okay.
And the day we checked out of the hospital with her at Mount Auburn, my mom looked at her parking ticket, and it was 312.
And she's on the road to recovery.
And she is doing wonderfully.
And she's fine.
And she's fine.
Right.
Yes.
I have to say, too, that sometimes in a great moment of need or a great moment where you need to have that reassurance, it's really wonderful that our loved ones can come back to us and they can say, you know what, I'm here. I'm watching over you. I'm guiding you. I'm a guardian angel. And it doesn't always come back so positive. It doesn't. I wish that it did.
Right.
But I'm going to say that in this instance, I did get a very strong vibration from your wonderful relative that this would be something they could fix, and she would be as right as rain. And she's fairly young. How old is she?
She will be 32 June 23rd.
She's a young woman, so I am going to say that in a case like that, naturally, you would want that lifespan to be completed. And I think he was trying to say, you know what? Show them these signs. Show them the Blessed Mother. Show them 312. And 312 is so significant because that's the time your mother was taking her home from the hospital.
Yes.
And she was fine.
Yes.
Has this brought comfort to your family?
Without a doubt. We feel so blessed to have such an angel as yourself to
Thank
deliver
you.
these messages to us from our loved
Thank
ones.
you. I have to thank you for that because it's not the easiest work in the world. It's very rewarding and it's a blessing, and I consider it such. But when you can have people that will come in and give the testimonials of things that have happened, and I think I got the name Sabatino, didn't I?
Sabatino.
Right.
Sabatino's is a restaurant right across the street from my sister, as you mentioned, in Arlington.
Okay.
But also my grandfather's mother used to call him Sabatidu.
Okay, that's as close as I could
That's as
probably get.
Close, absolutely.
So I want to thank you for
Thank
such a beautiful testimonial, and so many wonderful things have come true for you. And I like to also give the listening audience and the viewing audience, of course, the knowledge that, you know what, the earthly life is temporary. This is just transient. What we are is temporary, and what comes after this is your soul is eternal. Your soul goes back to the Creator. So for your grandmother and your grandfather to continue to make such wonderful contributions from the other side to you, I think that helps the world know, guess what? The soul is truly eternal. Thank you so much.
Thank
it was so
you,
good to see you
Linnea.
again.
Thank
I missed you. Thank you.
Nice
I'll
to
see
see you.
soon.
Missed you too. Thank
you.
you.
That came out great.
Very nice indeed.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. And we
Thank
said,
you, Linnea.
no, thank you. And we got the most important things out
Yes.
there. The other things
Yes.
we have both shared, but I think the name
Oh my goodness,
and
so many
the
things.
check, which he wanted you to
Yes.
have, I'm sure. And, he wanted that.
Yes.
And the other beautiful bonuses of things that are coming true for you. And I think I'm seeing you guys on the 29th.
Yes.
So get in touch with me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank
so
you,
great.
Linnea.
Did you
So nice
enjoy?
to see you.
So nice to see you.
I
Did you enjoy
did.
the little girl?
Oh, she was beautiful.
Isn't she pretty?
She was gorgeous.
Just to look at her
And-
and
yeah.
to know she was a prophecy from the other side. It was Christine's grandmother.
and children are so open. They're so open.
Oh my
and
God, she's so cute.
was
I
gorgeous.
just had a ball because the mother and the daughter looked like mini me. It was so
yes.
cute. So thank you. It was so
Thank
good
you.
to see you.
Oh, thank you,
I can't
Linnea.
reach you. I
No, no,
can't-
that's
don't
okay.
wanna make you fall.
No, thank
Please
you.
give my best to everyone, and I
I
thank
will.
you so much. Do you know the way out? We have a wonderful, wonderful guest today who is going to contribute some really amazing apports. And I just want to reiterate that apports are something that I might see around you, and you do receive them at some point in time, not from me, but from random acts of situations. And you and I met. This is lovely, babe. Thank you so much for joining
You're
us.
welcome.
I really appreciate it. And it's very, very wonderful that you can take the time to come in and share some of the things with the viewing audience and letting them know that you did get a spirit communication. And I think I met you about a year ago at a private event.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago, it was at a private event
Right.
at a friend's house.
Right. And I think I brought your lovely mother back.
You did?
I did, okay. And actually, we saw each other at the Saga Senior Center on Monday. I do a program with them every second Monday. And it took me a minute, and then I did recognize you. I think your hair was a little different now, very lovely. And I brought back Rafaela,
My grandmother.
your grandmother. So in this instance, when your beautiful mom came, I think she was trying to communicate with your daughter and with you. And I picked up a few things that she was going to try to send to you, and they're called apports. They're like a portal from the other side. So I know one of them was a set of blue rosary beads, and your mother said somehow the family will get blue rosary beads. And then she showed me something that's kind of uncommon. You don't see them too often anymore. They're glow-in-the-dark rosary beads. And years ago, they were pretty popular. I really don't see them in vogue that much now, but they are out there. But you really have to look for them. And then she told me to show you the red roses. So maybe now you could explain a little bit about the apports that came to you.
Yes. We were at a friend's house, and there was probably about 8 of us. And you came in, and she had about 3 or 4 cats. And what happened was the cats were meowing all over the place, and I'm afraid of cats.
Okay,
So it
sorry.
kind of like freaked me out a little bit. And you said, oh no, they're not going to be quiet because the spirits are
Right,
here.
I hear it.
And you had read my daughter first, Alicia, and you told her that she was going to see blue rosary beads.
Okay.
And I was staying at her at the time because I now live in Florida, and I came up
Beautiful.
from Florida.
Okay.
And her son came home from school one day, and the blue rosary beads were around his neck, and we both looked at him like, where did you get these rosary beads, and why are they around your neck? And he said, well, I had them, and I just decided to wear them. So we kind of really, wow, okay. So the next night, I got a knock on my bedroom door, and it was my daughter and her husband. And they came into the bedroom, and my daughter said, Mom, tell Jason what Linnea had told you. So I was explaining to him about the cats and the events, and I said to him, she told me 3 things, that my mom was there, and I was going to receive red roses as a sign from my mom, and I was going to receive a medallion back. She didn't know when or how, but they would come back to me. And the most important thing for me, because I pray a lot, was the rosary beads. She says, you can receive glow in the dark rosary beads. And I thought to myself, well, I can understand rosary beads, but glow in the dark? So my son-in-law looked at me and says, wait a minute. He went in the room, and he came back, and he handed me glow in the dark rosary beads. We shut off the lights, and they truly glowed in the dark. I just was amazed. And he said, I said, where did you get these rosary beads? He said, I don't know, years ago, the kids, whatever, I really don't know. So I says to him, wow. He says, but obviously they were meant for you, so he handed them to me. And since that day, I've never, they're always with me since that day because they're from my mother. And it wasn't there when my mother passed away, so it meant a lot to me.
Thank you. And did that evidentiary from the other side, did that help the family? Did they feel comforted by that when those things came true for them? Were they sitting there going, oh, she told us and it happened? Did that help them, do you think?
Yes, it definitely helped me. Because like I said, I was not there when my mother passed. And it was very comforting to know she's around me. And on Monday, you told me again she's watching over me, which gives me great comfort because I just felt so bad that I wasn't there when she passed.
Well, the other thing is, too, that sometimes they don't want us to see that aspect of their leaving the earth plane. Sometimes our fathers and mothers don't want us to see that, and they just want us to remember them as they were when they were vital, when they were on the earth plane. So sometimes what they'll do is God will call them, and then they will come back to you through a visit or through a communication, and they will tell you something specific, and then you receive it. And what about the red roses? You started to talk about that.
When I went back to Florida, I went home, and the next day I received red roses, a big bouquet of red roses. And I just gasped. I said, oh my God. I said, here's the roses that she said my mother was going to send me. Physically, they weren't from her, but spiritually they were. And it was just another sign. And it just threw me because knowing my mom's with me, like I said, means a lot to me. And now, you told me this is the second time that we did the spiritualization of her.
Right.
And she's still with me, so obviously she's always going to be with me.
Right.
And that just brings
And
me a lot
Mother's
of joy and
Day
comfort.
this week.
Yes.
So I have to say, Mother's Day, very special for all mothers in life. More poignant because some of us have our mothers on the other side, and yet we still honor and respect that day because it's sacred to our own mothers. And I have to say, too, that if she can come back, which she did, that gives you the verification that, no, she didn't leave me. She's at the gate of glory, and she's watching over me with light and love. And for them to give you anything, and it's true, or it comes true, or you get the object that they've told you about, that has to substantiate that there is no death, that your soul continues on. The frustrating part about being in this type of work for me is I can't do it for myself. I wish I could. I can't. So when I can bring yours back from glory, then I know the ones I love and miss are right at the gate of heaven with you. And the wonderful thing about religion is every religion promises you eternal life. Every religion does. So when you think about it, logically, if every single religion, whatever it may be, promises that you find the Creator, then why wouldn't you find all the others that have gone before you? So I'm going to say that I think when you do get the substantiation, and that happens to be your faith, you are a Christian person, and I am too. And not everyone's a Christian, and I realize that. I totally respect that. But my premise always is the resurrection and life eternal substantiates the fact that you got the beautiful rosary beads. Where else would they come from? I didn't give them to you. Your mother somehow had somebody make that connection so that you've received them. Has this brought comfort to the family? Has it helped them, do you think?
Yes. Like I said, it brought great comfort to me. And what I really can't get over is their glow-in-the-dark rosary beads.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that is really wild because, like you said, they're not common.
No.
And for him to walk out with them and says, obviously these were meant for you,
Right.
I just was, oh my God. And this was the very next night after you had told me my mom was going to give them to me.
Well, it's called synchronicity, and I'm going to say an A-port comes from the other side, but when it happens so incredibly, synchronicity is at work, meaning it isn't a coincidence. It's meant to get your attention. It's meant to open your vibration. And I'm quite sure that you're familiar with Helen Keller.
Yes.
Helen Keller has always been someone that I have admired greatly. Despite her disabilities and her handicaps, she accomplished so much with her wonderful life. And I think you're familiar, all of us are, with the miracle worker. And her hands are under the water, and she's kind of standing there not knowing what they're doing, and all of a sudden you see her eyes and you see her face when she gets it. I saw that with you on Monday when I said, Rafaela, you were sitting there and you just kind of gave that lunge, and I said, she got it. She knows it's the grandmother. And Helen Keller was very, very interesting. In her later years, people would speak to her about death, and she would say to them, there is no death. She said, I will go to glory. I will walk into glory. She said, I will truly see. I will see my father, my mother, my siblings. This was a blind, deaf woman, and she got it. So when I do what I do and I see that reaction with the miracle worker, that's my miracle, because I know that I've touched the chord, that I gave you the channeling, that I gave you the veracity that, guess what, that was your grandmother, that is your mother. They're always there with you with light and love. And if there's any message I can give to anybody out there, be open to it. When you are open to it, so many things can come to you. You just have to have an open heart and an open mind. And I think it was St. Augustine who said, to the believer, everything you say means something. To the non-believer, nothing will make any sense. Try as you do and your wonderful family. Try to have an open heart and an open mind. And it gives your life such a more of an incredible meaning. It just does, because you know that death, physical death, is not the end. Whether you're 90, you're 60, you're 40, you know that that soul is going to continue on. And what I'm finding is that you yourself are now a spiritual messenger. You can share this with people, and it's like one little pebble in the water grows to be of great magnitude. So from the clients that I see, the clients that I meet, and we become very special to each other. It's more than a client. There's a bonding there. You know, you met me, I brought them back, they love you, they've given you something to say, yes, it's real. Now you go to Florida and you tell the world. Your family goes through Massachusetts and they tell the world. So it's like that song, Go Tell It on the Mountain. Mm-hmm. Go tell it on the mountain, because it's true.
I do. I've always been very spiritual, and I feel I'm a miracle of God anyway.
We all are, yes,
when
you're
you
right.
say these things to me, they mean so much. And I'm just thrilled that I had the opportunity to see you again.
I'm thrilled that we had the chance to meet too, and I think it's so fortuitous that I happened to see you the week I was filming this, and your mother was saying, have her come,
Really?
have her come in and show their beads. So I know that my mother is standing at the gate of heaven with yours, and they're watching over us with light and love. So I thank you so, so much. It
You're
was so
welcome.
wonderful. Thank you again. So
You're
I will
welcome
talk
so
to you
much.
soon. Thank you.